Remember when the Indiana Fever was that team nobody took seriously? Forget that image. The Fever is on a meteoric rise that's leaving the basketball world speechless. And that's why today we're talking about two players who are turning the game upside down, Caitlin Clark and Lexi Hull. Clark isn't just playing well, she's making history. Just imagine. She became the first rookie in WNBA history to win Player of the Week for 3 consecutive weeks. That's something that hasn't even happened in the NBA before. And as if that wasn't enough, Clark is about to break the season assist record, needing only 11 in 4 games. This proves she really is the real deal. But don't think it's just Clark who's shining. Lexi Hull is quietly becoming a key piece in this Fever puzzle. I say quietly because her impact goes beyond statistics. And that's why it's time to give proper credit to this player who's surprising everyone. Take this clip for example. Look at how she fights for possession of the ball. She never gives up. And when she's called upon for the three-pointer, she delivers. In the last 10 games, Hull has been a true machine on the court. With an average of 29.1 minutes per game, almost 10 points per game, 4.2 rebounds, 1.5 assists, and 0.7 steals. Impressive, isn't it? But what's really leaving everyone jaw-dropped are her shooting percentages. 62.3% on field goals and 71.4% on three-pointers. Hull isn't just accumulating numbers. She's doing her job with excellence. Her grit and determination are contagious. She fights for every possession as if it were the last of the game. It's no wonder that even Caitlin Clark has publicly declared herself a fan of Lexi Hull.
Yeah, my account will solely be about Lexi if you want to follow. I'm going to change the bio to Lexi Hull fan page, so yeah.
When the league's rookie sensation praises her teammate, you know something special is happening. Hull's impact goes far beyond statistics. She's bringing a positive energy that's making all the difference. She's the type of player who may not appear in the headlines as much, but teammates and coaches love having on the team. With Hull playing at this level, the Indiana Fever has gained an extra weapon that's creating more space and opportunities for the entire team. If you were impressed with Hull and Clark individually, wait until you see how they complement each other on the court. It's as if one were an extension of the other, creating a synergy that's leaving opposing defenses completely lost. Hull's shooting accuracy is opening up the game for Clark in an incredible way. When you have a player hitting three-pointers, the defense has no choice but to stick to her. And who benefits from that? Caitlin Clark, who gains more space to create brilliant plays. And we can't forget about defense. While Clark shines on offense, Hull is back there holding down the fort. She's become that player the coach trusts to guard the best opposing attackers. This allows Clark to save energy to do what she does best: destroy on offense. Now, if you thought Caitlin was good in college, you must be as surprised as I am, because what she's doing in the WNBA is simply surreal. Clark's numbers are out of this world. She's averaging nearly 20 points and 10 assists per game. For a rookie, that's not just impressive, it's historic. Clark has already matched Sabrina Ionescu in the number of games with at least 25 points and 10 assists. The difference? Sabrina took several seasons to get there. Clark? She did it in just 10 games after the Olympic break. And the records? Where to begin? She's the first rookie in WNBA history to achieve a triple-double. Not satisfied, she did it twice. Clark has also surpassed the 400 points, 100 rebounds, and 150 assists mark in a single season. That had never been done by a rookie before. And the assists? That's where things get really crazy. Clark reached her 300th assist in just 35 games, the fastest pace in league history. She leads the WNBA in assists with 8.5 per game. The most incredible thing is that Clark isn't just accumulating numbers. She's changing the game. The way she reads the court, how she creates opportunities out of nowhere, is something we've rarely seen in the WNBA. She's redefining what it means to be a point guard in the league, and the impact goes beyond the court. Fever games are breaking audience records. Over 1.26 million people watched the game against the Minnesota Lynx. That's more than many NFL games. Clark isn't just dominating the game, she's bringing new fans to the WNBA and elevating the league's profile as a whole. Clark's dominance is so absurd that people are already talking about her as MVP. A rookie as MVP. Sounds crazy. But with Clark, I don't doubt anything anymore. And if you think what the Indiana Fever is doing now is impressive, hold on tight, because the future promises to be even more electrifying. Let's start with the obvious. The playoffs. Remember when the Fever was that team everyone wrote off before the season even started? With Caitlin Clark leading and Lexi Hull emerging as a perfect partner, the Fever hasn't just secured a playoff spot, they're doing it with style. The most exciting thing is that they don't seem satisfied with just making the playoffs. The way they're playing, especially in recent weeks, shows they're hungry for more. And you know what's scariest for other teams? The Fever is still learning to play together. Think about this. Clark and Hull barely had time to train together before the season started. Now that they're developing this on-court chemistry, the sky's the limit. And we can't forget about Aaliyah Boston, who has been a constant force throughout the season. This team has the potential to be a dynasty in the future. Speaking of the future, let's think long-term. The Fever has one of the youngest teams in the league, with potential to grow together. Clark is still in her rookie year, Hull is evolving with each game, and we have other promising pieces on the roster. This means the Fever isn't just a passing phenomenon. They're building something lasting, and the impact goes beyond the court. With the Caitlin Clark effect, attracting more fans and media attention, the Fever is becoming a desirable destination for free agents. Imagine stars wanting to join this project in the coming years. It's as if the Fever had discovered the secret formula for success in the WNBA. Of course, there are still challenges ahead. The pressure will only increase as expectations grow, but from what we've seen so far, this team seems ready to handle it. The mentality that Clark and Hull and the rest of the team have shown is that of veterans, not a rising team. For this season, the prospects are exciting. The Fever isn't entering the playoffs just to participate. They have the potential to cause some surprises. With the momentum they're carrying, nobody will want to face them in a best-of-3 series. But looking at the upcoming seasons, it's hard not to get excited. If the Fever can keep this core together and add some strategic pieces, we're potentially seeing the birth of the next great WNBA dynasty. But don't think the path from here on out will be a walk in the park. Things are about to get even more intense. First, let's talk about pressure. Clark and Hull have proven they can handle expectations so far, but the playoffs are a completely different animal. The intensity rises, every mistake is amplified, and suddenly, those shots that seemed easy become much more complicated. How will these young stars react when the heat really turns up? And we can't forget that now everyone's eyes are on the Fever. There's no more surprise element. Opposing teams will come with specific strategies to stop Clark, to limit Hull, to destabilize the Fever's game. Will they be able to maintain their level of play in the face of this redoubled attention? Finally, there's the expectation of fans and media. The hype surrounding the Fever, especially Clark, is sky high. But what if they don't meet these expectations in the playoffs? How will they handle potential fan disappointment? How will they react if they're eliminated early? The Indiana Fever is in the middle of a perfect storm of emotions, expectations, and pressure. The coming weeks will test not only their skills on the court, but also their mental strength. Are they really ready for this challenge? I personally see that the Fever has the potential to reach the WNBA Finals this year, and I'm eager to watch how each player will continue to write her legacy. I hope to see a 30-point game from Caitlin Clark in the playoffs. But for that to happen, it will be crucial for Coach Christy Sides to develop a solid and adaptable strategic plan. Clark has already proven her worth as one of the best players in league history, but the high-pressure playoff environment requires a more refined and calculated approach. Sides will have the task of creating offensive schemes that maximize Clark's unique abilities, allowing her to exploit her exceptional court vision and long-range shooting ability, while also effectively involving her teammates. The key to Clark's success in the playoffs will lie in Sides' ability to adjust strategies as needed, especially when opposing teams focus their defense on the young star. This may involve creating plays that use Clark as bait to open up spaces for other players, or developing secondary and tertiary options in attacks that allow Clark to contribute even when she's closely guarded. Additionally, Sides will need to work on managing Clark's playing time, ensuring she's fresh and energized at crucial moments in games. Finally, Sides' plan should include defensive strategies that not only protect Clark from excessive wear and tear, but also position her to capitalize on counterattack opportunities. This may involve using different defensive schemes that complement Clark's offensive playing style, allowing for quick and efficient transitions. With a well-crafted strategic plan by Christy Sides, Caitlin Clark will have all the necessary tools to elevate her game even further and potentially lead the Indiana Fever to a surprising and deep playoff run. But now I'm curious to hear what you think. Are Clark and Hull the dynamic duo that will take the Fever to the top of the WNBA? Or will the playoff pressure be too much for them? Leave in the comments what you think about this team's future. And if you enjoyed this content and want to stay up to date with all the excitement of the WNBA playoffs, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on that bell too so you don't miss any videos about the biggest stars in women's basketball. Thanks for watching, and see you soon.